quick video about my thoughts on protein restriction, or why I actually don't practice protein restriction. Okay, the reason why is I did try a starch-centered vegan diet to put on muscle, to test it out. It does work. Now, interestingly enough, it could be that the stress and whatnot. I'm not saying that the starch-centered diet caused my health problems, but I'm also not saying it didn't. What happened in conjunction with that was I ended up putting on weight because I couldn't weightlift anymore because I was eating too many calories, particularly starch. Then what happened is I developed asthma, heart palpitations, things of this nature. Again, not saying that the starch-centered diet caused this, saying it was probably a factor, a contributing factor amongst other things. So basically I went back to a high protein, high fiber, high carb, of course, because fiber's carb, diet, okay? A vegan diet that's high fiber and high protein. So I'm concentrating on beans, lentils, legumes, corn, things of this nature. Protein restriction is a means to extend life in laboratory animals, okay? And it does work. More particularly, methionine restriction helps to extend lifespan in non-human laboratory animals. So, how can you restrict methionine without restricting protein? A vegan diet is actually rather methionine restricted already, although grains do have methionine, and if you didn't have methionine, you would develop fatty liver and things like this, so you have to have some methionine. But a way to basically restrict methionine without restricting methionine, or without restricting protein at all, really, is to take an amino acid called glycine. Now, I agree with supplementing. People go, why do you agree with supplementing with amino acids and all these supplements that you take, blah, blah, blah. I started looking into glycine because it stops the inflammatory response with the lungs. I looked into it for asthma. Upon further looking into it, it also helps the body get rid of excess methionine, which also has been shown to extend life. Basically, glycine supplementation has been shown to extend life in laboratory animals by its way of getting rid of excess methionine. Okay, so this is a way that you could restrict methionine without restricting protein. So, why don't I restrict protein? Or total protein, I should say. The reason why is because, honestly, after experimenting with a starch-centered diet, which was potatoes, corn, and other green leafy vegetables, and yellow vegetables, what have you, my energy levels were not what they were on a more high-protein vegan diet. I've also started adding more omega-3 fats from algae oil capsules and things like that back into my diet, and I feel much better. I also supplement with glutamine and a lot of other supplements, which will be taken care of in my ways of dealing with lung disease through senolytics and supplements. That's a playlist I'm working on. I'll be making more videos for that. So glycine helps with asthma, and glycine helps the body get rid of excess methionine. It also slows down the aging process. It's also the reason it's the magical ingredient in bone broth without all the toxins in bone broth. Glycine powder, 100% pure glycine powder, is that magic amino acid that's in the connective tissues. It's the secret between nose to tail eating, because what it is glycine is very prevalent in the connective tissues of animals, and in our connective tissues, because we are animals. However, what's important to understand is when actually looked at the amino acid compositions of various omnivores and vegetarians and vegans had the highest glycine consumption. And this is because glycine is also highly prevalent in legumes. So the thing is, omnivores, especially omnivores that don't observe nose-to-tail eating, such as, say, what's the dude, that Peterson guy, I forget his name, the psychologist that annoys me because he got conservative after it was safe. Jordan Peterson, that's it. He does not have a good amount of glycine in his diet because he's not eating the organ meats, gristle, connective tissues, etc., like skin and all that. But the thing is with this, is what you have to understand, if you're eating these components, you should still restrict animal products to nothing. But the thing is, what you have to understand is that when you eat these connective tissues, bone broth, skin, things like that, you're getting cholesterol, fat, and other amino acids that you don't necessarily need to be taking in a whole lot of. And that's all for this video.